Series number 2 in the grand finals here at the Halo Classic.
For once, it seems like they're going to send someone down low towards Sniper, and it's going to be in the hands of Lethul at the start of this game for TOX.
No one has picked up the rockets quite yet. Aries, Eco trading out some kills there. And let's see, battle between Straightsick and Lethul. Lethul having to dip out of there and just play it slow. Straightsick got the better of him. He's 2 members dying in front. Just dial it back. No reason to commit to that middle of the map. It's not necessary. He would have hit that shot, would have been great, but it was not meant to be.
And that was actually a smart challenge there, or it was fine to go for that fight. Reason being is Lethul knew where that sniper was. Straightsick did not know where Lethul was. I don't even know if Lethul still had that screen, but he still had the last location of that sniper, so it was okay to challenge that situation despite being down in a player numbers.
Oh, Straightsick peels Lethul. So the sniper's going to be down for the time being. And this is just the early game here in Narrows, right? You're feeling each other out. You're not really trying to make any kind of hero plays. It's kind of just, you know, one kill after another, although you did have that airstrike flying across. That's why Straightsick has no shields there. Rocket just blew him up. Luckily enough, he was able to stay alive. And Straightsick's just been hitting so many no-scopes. His snap no-scope it's wild, man. Sensitivity he's so comfortable with.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm still not as familiar with MCC Halo 3 versus
there were some
OG
adjustments.
Halo 3, you know, with it being like 60 FPS and how it plays on Xbox One versus Xbox 360. So those are some small nuances that I'm uncertain of how different it is. Like whether it's these players just, you know, skill level has clearly increased every single year when it comes to Halo and how good these players are and how accurate they are. And I'm also, like I said, a bit more ignorant on what the biggest differences are.
Flag pull attempt from TOX, managed to make it over to the Denial Mohawk, but they stopped that pull. And yes, to you know, discuss this further, you were 100% right there, man. And the return there, but like I spent hours just trying to find what the good or like a sensitivity that was like comfortable for me, because just the small details. And that's why I was saying and commending Straightsick for that, because you know, maybe he didn't do anything special, but you can just see that comfort there. He knows how much tension he needs to put on that joystick.
Yes, and so obviously incredibly comfortable with those during those sort of shots, and obviously also a lot of other players there. We just see significantly more no-scopes being hit in like this tournament compared to when we would have seen just probably like 10 years ago. Or maybe my memory is just tricking me. I'm not remembering them all, but you know, obviously we had some significant ones back in the day, but I don't feel like we saw this level of consistency in the past.
Yeah, and it was so long ago, right? The players have learned so much more. There's more knowledge to be gained. Everyone has learned how to play Halo 3. It's been out for so long, and because of that, I feel like the game has just been taken up that next level, that extra level.
Yeah.
That
all the years of Halo that we've seen competitively over this last 10 years, there is transferability here to Halo 3. You know, aiming skill, just overall understanding of communication and teamwork. Just everything in general has stepped up to a different level.
I tell you, man, you don't remember the no scopes. I'm getting tongue twisted out here. It's just we're just really showing these senior moments, Dave. You know, that's why we're here.
The gameplay has gotten better, but we're not sure about the casting level. If that's gotten better or not.
True. Call Puckett at Sundance. Bring him in here. I want Sundance to show me the burger, you know, a little bit of that meat on the chest there. I love those guys, man. Of course, we wouldn't really have what we have now if it wasn't for those guys really leading the charge there, so shout out to them. And Eco trying to lead the charge for his team, bringing that flag out to the middle of the map, but Straightsick's going to send that one right back to his base. They're just going to reset again. 2 players down for Denial. I believe 2 players down for TOX, and Straightsick pushes on forward.
Yeah, and just getting incredibly aggressive here. I mean, with that snipe, it's a risky situation to be in. He's now all the way over at the opposing attic, and now could potentially lose the Denial snipe over at that base. Was he completely out of ammo on it? It looks like I did not see that one drop, so I might have miscounted the ammo or did not see that correctly. So I was a little concerned as to why he was pushing so far with that snipe. And it looks like he must have been out of ammo, so I must have missed that.
Action slows down here. Both teams really just, there have been attempts made, there have been pulls that have been made, but nothing really sticking out to me here, Dave. It's been a rather slow game, right? Like, everyone's they're just looking for that moment, and it has not come at all, but commonly pops up behind Lethul. You like to see that one, the old assassination. Lethul wasn't expecting that, and now this is what I was talking about, that moment. And Denial, they have made that moment a reality. They're starting to pull this flag.
And obviously, they must be communicating very well, because one thing I noticed is that commonly when he's pushing over towards Snipe 1, generally when you have your flag carrier going that way, your first and most important threat is to stop people coming over towards the Snipe, towards Snipe 1 from the man cannon side. And he didn't even waste his grenade or use his grenade over towards that side. He must have known that players are already verting back towards the back lobby. So that takes a lot just to be that confident to not even just waste a grenade or throw a grenade there.
One flag has been captured by Denial. TOX are inside of their base looking to pull the flag themselves, but if they go through the bottom mid here, they're going to get shot right in the face from Straight Sick. And things have slowed down. This is where I was worried for Denial, because oftentimes they get that first cap, and then TOX, because of the amount of investment that Denial had to put into the play in order to get that point, TOX then get that counter cap. They bring the flag right back to their base, and then we're right where we started, tied up, right? 0-0, 1-1, whatever it may be. That's what happened, I believe. I want to say in that pit game.
Yes.
I think, yeah. You know, so this is the thing that they just need to watch out for. They did it, and now they can sit comfortable with this lead, but not too comfortable, because TOX now they're going to start to feel that pressure. They're going to play a little bit more aggressively, Dave.
Yeah, let's be honest. When you say play a bit more comfortable, I think Denial's comfort level is being aggressive and pushing up and being the offensive team,
the instigator,
and trying to they don't want to just sit back at their base and let TOX come to them on their terms. Denial wants to set the terms and enforce them.
Control the pace of the game. Aries now flying over, finds APG, made that call out, so that's going to peel back some activity. Eco waits for him and gets the assassination, so no opportunity. Now Eco's turn. Let's see if he can do this here, but he's going to fall. That's going to be 3 down, though. Shele's going to be the last one left alive. Snakebite's going to start moving this flag. They're going to have the coverage. He's going bottom mid. Big opportunity here for TOX to get this first one for themselves. He gets a sniper rifle as well. That's quite nice, you know, good to have on the way.
I like this lobby play as well. Generally, if you have top control, you can't go wrong by bringing the flag to the back of your lobby. Reason being is one of the easiest ways for the opposing team to stop you is by throwing grenades or getting that snipe spot as you're going from snipe over towards flag. And this gives them such a small window of opportunity. Plus, any of your spawners are in a pretty safe spot to get that flag and finish it off in the event that you die.
Now that TOX have managed to get that cap, we're tied up here in Narrows. Let's jump into a listen-in with TOX as they're starting to mount another capture here. Let's see if they can do it.
They're low. Trying to watch me lift. Lobby. One lifted. Aries. We are cannon. I'm going on top, Kevin. I don't know. He's out of power up. He's out of power up. Dead. Nice. I'm at their base. I'm not with you, PJ. I'm at their base still. At their snipe. I have you, TJ. I am. Yep. Waste that more drop off. Watch out there low. Cannon low. Top in on 50. Yep. It stayed on. Fuck it. It's in their power ups. It's on their power. Mine 50 half up. It's on their R3. Right 2 Aries and behind. Watch sniper. L2 sniping. One shot L3. One sniping. He's one hit sniping. R3. Top mid. He's top right. You hit him with a nade, Brad. Brad, go right side. Sniping R2. L2 nading, Brad, go. R2. I don't. Watch top right now. Top right sniping. And L1. Top right sniping. He's already shotgun. He's gonna go R1. Jump flag half. Straight sick. One hit. Nice, Kevin. Big kill. Our lobby to flag. One shot flag. One shot flag. Where? I got him. 20, 30 seconds, 30. Alright, left shockwave. I'm still there, Hammy. Go to R1. With the car. One element. Nade L1? I don't see anyone. He's R1. Absolute Shele. Commonly weak as well. Shele's down here. Nice live, guys. Shele's still down here. Mauler R1. Shele. Mauler R1. Shele. Alright, nades. Shele. Need help on him. One shot. Absolute. Nice. One cannon up. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. Fuck. He has snipe. He's gonna go straight to our flag. Oh, yeah. Straight to our flag. They're on L1. Good nades. You didn't hit him. He's running it. There's got R1's rockets. Nade it. I don't have nades. One hit with him. Top mid, Shele. Watch our flank, guys. They do have rockets. Nice, they have rockets. L2? L1 Fox weak. Dumb weak. I can't get him. I fell off. Got him. There was 2 or 3 back weak. Yeah. I have one rocket, guys. Stay alive. Left shoulder. I guess one shot. Absolutely. One shot R2, Shele. Challenging up top. Rockets shoot down in between our shoulders. One cannon, one lifted. The rockets shoot down in between our shoulders. I'm going arcade lobby. Timing on 50.
Arcane, one shot. Aries. Yeah. You have 2 Arcane.
Knotted up 2-2, and great comms from TOX, really, but it's just denial. They get right back to where they started, back to their basics, which is pushing TOX back in their base, having TOX play off of the back foot, being the ones that, as you said, Walshy, dictate the pace of the game.
Yeah, they're more comfortable and they're the aggressors, and you notice how it works to their favor. You could listen to that from the TOX comms there. You heard them call over and over again, Shele here, and you hear the I don't want to say panic, confusion, but you hear them emphasizing that there's a threat nearby that they want to deal with, and that's going to be the majority of their comms until that threat is dealt with. And during that chaos,
difficult to take out.
And during that chaos too, you saw where Straight Sick was able to get flanked through and get a backsmack because they were so focused on one player. They're focused on Shele. The other part that I really like from those comms when they're calling out an exact player name is it's going to help them determine when they are safe or not. They're not just going to say flanker R0. They're going to say if it's Straight Sick or not. That way, if they somehow kill Straight Sick somewhere else, they know that they took care of that flanker and that main threat that they were concerned about earlier.
Shele was trying to line up some shots there, but Straight Sick's going to have the game-winning flag in his hands. APG's going to be weak. He's going to pick it up instead, gets naded, but gets around the corner, gets blown up, but his team member's there, and that's going to beat Denial, taking game 1 3-2. They just did enough to get that flag around the corner. TOX sent so many bodies with that man cannon, but they were not able to get there in time, and that wraps it up. Narrow CTF goes to Denial. Man, they cannot be stopped.
Yeah, let's take a look at these score lines. I mean, Straight Sick dropping a +12 during that game. Nearly the only one going positive on his team. If I was Shele in this situation, I'd be like, all right, me and Straight Sick went +13. What are the rest of you guys doing?
Yes, that is so you to do that. And hey, they won. They got the W. That's all that matters for them. But Denial is just all smiles over in the Wolfpack camp. They are playing so well from that series reset. They've picked it right back up. But that was a very close game. TOX, whenever they got aggressive, whenever they were playing Denial's game, it was working for them. But Denial, they are so good at just forcing the hand of TOX, getting them to be a little too comfortable in that aggression, and then they're able to just control the map once again. They've done it so many times to them. Yeah,
they really have. One thing I noticed during some of the pushes here from members of TOX when they're trying to break out some of those sticky situations is the timidness, and it is the correct play in many cases. Like you saw how Lethul, when trying to stop that second cap, I want to say, was just kind of sitting back trying to help with R0/L0 and didn't want to prematurely push towards the side. But there's plenty of times, too, where you see these members from Denial, they'll just go flying right out, trying to break out some of the setup. They either get the flank or they get the one-on-one fight isolation that they want and try to close out that kill.
That game certainly picked up. It was very, very close in the beginning. Everyone just looking for that one moment, that opportunity that they could jump on to get the first cap. And it was going to be TOX that does just that, or excuse me, Denial that does just that. They get that first capture, and then you think, okay, great. So now what is TOX going to do? They managed to answer back in turn. But it's just so impressive how Denial managed to stay focused, and also how Shele in these situations, because if you think about the end, one of their, I think the second to last push, Shele was the last player left alive. 3 members of Denial down. He sees the red X's in front of him. He doesn't push forward. He has sniper rifle, so he goes back up to top mid. And he stays there. No one from TOX challenges him. No one. His teammates respawn, and they're right back where they left off. TOX just never, because they lost players too, so they're instead like, Shele just is able to rotate back into a comfortable position with a power weapon, and then he's picking them off of respawn like it's nothing.
Well, sometimes what will happen with the spawn system on Narrows, especially CTF there, is when you have like players near your Mohawk and such, and you're pushing up and you have some sort of semblance of control in top center, you and your teammates can sometimes get some generous lobby spawns closer towards top center, and so your reinforcements are going to get there a little bit faster, whereas the opposing team, if they're
going to spawn like backstage,
they might spawn backstage, back flag, back cannon, like you've seen before. And so sometimes even when you are going even numbers, or maybe you went down just by one player, where it's like you got 3 kills, they got 4 kills, you sometimes might get reinforcements a little bit faster and still be able to win that exchange.
Well, Narrows goes to Denial, 3-2 over to Amplified Slayer. When things get crazy, TOX have done very well. This is going to be awesome to watch because Denial, Aries, this guy has been destroying everything. And if Shele keeps playing the way that he's playing, staying alive, jumping around like it's a jungle gym out there, and making it difficult for TOX to take him out of the equation, this could spell doom for TOX. But, and again, I will never ever count out TOX from these victories because they are a team that have been in this spot time and time again. I cannot stress that enough. But here we go into Amplified Slayer, and we're on board with Shele, who picks up a kill, and that's going to be 3 kills at the start.
Not only just picks up a kill, but you notice how Shele and Conley both pushing on over towards this red base and putting on that flank and pressure immediately. They flew all the way to the opposite side of the map in an instant, and just shows how much they prioritize that pressure and that chaotic situation and pressure it puts on the TOX squad.
Shele, go for it. Oh, Eco shuts him down, and finally TOX, they're going to start to get some kills on the board here. 8-4 currently at the start of this game. Shele, though, his BR has been true. He's been landing all of his shots. Aries has been rather quiet in that Narrows game. You really just saw it straight sick. You saw a little bit of Shele. Aries, though, was a superstar in Series 1. TOX, though, they're within 1. Things were looking a little dire for them at the beginning. Now they've tied it up.
Yep, they have tied it up like you said. APG is in such a strong position here. These little Attic missions are level 3 of blue or red base. You can do so much damage, not only because you obviously have that strong angle, but you actually have so much cover. There's those little triangles that are on top of those spots, and you can essentially block yourself off from one half the map using that.
I like what APG did there. When he came around the corner, he didn't just instantly try and shoot that player who was on the high ground. A lot of players would have tried to go for that play, shoot that player immediately, try and get him off of the power position. But instead, he went for information. And then there was also a player that happened to conveniently be there as well. There's no radar here, so when you move around the map freely like that, you're just communicating to your team where they are and how you can start to support them in that push.
Well, you wanna shoot and fight players that you can hopefully eventually kill, or you want to have a plan in an instance where it's like, all right, if I'm shooting this player and backing him down, is our team really getting the most out of this? And so a lot of times too, on Amplified, you can't go wrong by just trying to isolate a fight or find a fight that you can actually finish off when your team is on the back foot, because one thing that is spin out of control in Amplified is when your team's starting to spawn only in one portion of the map and you don't have those angles to finish off players. Backing someone down from level 3 somewhere is in fact the exact thing the opposing team wants you to do. They want firepower coming at that player, and that player is the one who's supposed to soak up the damage because they're the furthest back, and then they can drop down and stay alive. And then one of the other teammates from the opposing team is going to get their first shot on you and help finish you off. So sometimes just kind of falling straight into the trap is similar to, like, you know, something like on midship when there's someone over at ping 3. Ping 3 is probably not the first guy you want to fight in some cases. You may want to back them down and then re-engage later, but there's a lot of times too where that person there is, they're the player who is trying to soak up all that attention. They're trying to lay down as much damage as possible and let the players who are a bit closer engage with an advantage. And
then you can allow guys like Lethul here to get a double kill and bring them within 2. This has been so close, neck and neck the entire time. Tied game after tied game was shown on screen, but it is Denial that has the lead by 3, thanks to Aries, who gets the kill on Eco. Lethul looking around. He knows that a player is going to be around here. Yes,
yeah, at this point you can just assume. You're just like, all right, I know we don't see all 4 members of Denial are. Yeah, if you start to go with that assumption, you're just like, all right, there's got to be somebody lurking around here. If you step for those angles, you step for those spots, you're more than likely going to catch that one-on-one. But even though you make that assumption, even if you do catch it, you still have to win that one-on-one fight. It's not just, you know, even if you can predict a flank, there's still someone sitting there with full shield that you have to take down.
Amplify is the type of map that at any point in time, a player can jump out, and you have to expect it. You have to be ready. You only have your battle rifle in this map to work with. Aries gets a kill on Eco. That brings him back in the lead, 31. But my word, such a close game here on Amplified. No one's giving in.
Yep, tied neck and neck at 31 is the situation. they were very fortunate to take out Aries over at Blue Side Pink. That's always a very difficult spot to take someone out if you don't have the grenades, so they were a bit fortunate they had 2 VRs there ready to take them out, because otherwise Aries was going to make his way back with the bomb center.
Yeah, 2 players of TOX that were tucked in the corner there commonly had to disengage, but got him weak enough alongside that one other teammate that they were able to clear them out. And now maybe this is where the lead starts to peel away. Maybe this is where Denial, they take another game off the TOX. 3 players are going to be tucked away here inside of this base. The red base, a double kill, killing spree. More follow-up kills for Shele on Snakebite now, 40 kills. Still, though, very close. 1 team kill, 1 wipe, and they're right back in this TOX.
Yep, just that bait and switch you saw there was perfect over at Gold Side Blue, where I believe it was Aries and Commonly just went in and out from there, and that's one of those situations where Commonly just laid down as much fire as possible, backed away, and then was able to re-engage once he had that second backup, and once again, teammates just laying some damage across the map.
Oh, APG staying alive, but then instead of going all the way back into the base, he peeks back out because he knows that no one's going to be right in front of him. So maybe he can put down some shots so that he can continue to be effective. You want to just support as much as you can. Even if in some instances you may think, oh, but he has no shields, he should focus on staying alive here. You gotta communicate with your team and recognize where you can assist. And APG now, because of that, he has a good position here up top. He's waiting around here on the pink side.
He's looking for these flanks. Look at this. Even though you don't have a full half of the map here for TOX, one thing they're starting to realize is they're saying, all right, these members now, they're continuously starting to push on our side. Let's see if we can catch one of these people off guard, someone who's getting out of position. And I know it's an assassination by Eco. Eco probably just sitting in a tricky spot, looks like over at Gold 1 side, and getting a backsmack on a potential flanker.
Tied game again, but then Denial, they get another kill, 47-45. APG is going to be in a tough spot. He's going to have to win this fight, but he can't. Commonly's going to get the kill, 48-46. A double kill for Commonly once again. Lethul with the kill. 1 more kill for TOX to come back. The pressure is on for TOX. So you go down here by 1, but they took the lead. They took the lead at the last moment, and that's the game. TOX bring it back. What a close one on Amplified, and now we're tied up 1-1 in the series.
Previous games, you would notice it would get down to the wire, and all the members of Denial would feel like they could just charge an area and overwhelm TOX. This time, TOX held their ground and took the game.
Very impressive stuff from TOX to keep it within 1. Even when it got within 4, they knew exactly what I was saying. They were like, we just need to wipe them out. Just 4 kills. We're back in this one. 4 kills, because Amplified can switch just like that. Before you know it, you lost the game. Now we're all tied up 1-1 here. Amplified done and dusted. We're moving on in the series, and a very different series from what we saw before.
Look at those assists too. From we had that from TOX, 63 assists. Oof. Just multiple players getting assists on single kills. Just like 3 players all shooting somebody and taking them down.
Wow. Well, here we are, folks. Tied up in the series for both teams. They just got to reset their thoughts as they get ready for game number 3. Let's look at the series layout and see where we're at here in this reset for the grand finals of the Halo Classic between TOX and Denial. Make sure you're using that hashtag Halo Classic. Let us know who you think is going to win. Tweet everything at Walshy. Just Walshy. Only Walshy. Guardian Oddball, game 3. Trying to get you some mentions, baby.
I appreciate that.
You know, I got your back. You know what I mean? We're a team. We're a duo. You know, unless Sims is here. So you know, shout out to Sims. We love you. But Guardian Oddball, game 3. Now let's reflect. I've been doing this a bunch. On the winner bracket finals.
Yeah.
Because Guardian Oddball was all TOX. They shut down Denial. What has Denial learned, and what can they bring to this one? Because last time it was not pretty.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like a partially chaotic game throughout part of Guardian Oddball last time, but that seemed to be just fine with TOX. They were able to scrap up time, get the rotations they wanted, get the plays they needed. They just pulled away towards the mid/end of the game. I don't recall an exact, like, 1 or 2 small tidbits that Denial would just change in order to turn this around. So we're going to have to see. I'm sure that they themselves have talked about, have theorized, or they're going to make some definite adjustments. So we're going to have to see if those adjustments pay off.
They just got to be better. They got to win the game. They got to grab the oddball, and they got to get the points. I think it goes without saying. That's my one John Madden reference for the event. You know, that's it. That's it. All right. So now, the start of this game. This is actually what happened last time as well, because in the last Guardian Oddball, no one had grabbed the ball, right? It was sitting low for such a long time, even though Denial make an attempt there, you just get wiped out right away. And this is where TOX, they did this last time too. Even though they had the ball, they went to grab it, Denial. Once they had that 3 down, they pushed for that ball immediately, and then they held it in that blue-gold setup that got them so many points.
Yeah, and this right now could be some trouble here for Denial because despite having Straight Sick over at the snipe side, Lethul was over at blue and was able to help get that finish. So that first push by Denial was just completely shut down.
Good body shot, forces that player back. Shele challenges immediately, but the follow-up. Snakebite gets the kill. Eco with the ball, so APG is going to have to play some defense for him. Watches back. The call-out's been made. A player is by S1, so someone has to
I like how he just backs away, too, right there. That was so smart by APG. He lays the damage. He sets his teammate up for success and leaves the rest in his teammate's hands. That way that he can spread out and effectively get their full step a little bit quicker. Even though his teammate had died over at snipe side, it's still the right play. You have to have some trust in your teammates. You can't just say, all right, worst case scenario, my teammate's going to die here. I should have been over there to help. It's like, no. You set your teammate up for success, and you have to put the trust in them.
And the reason why I reacted there on that shot was because Eco, he's been so great at when he holds the ball, he plays these angles that doesn't expose him, but he didn't get a moment to play that ball. Thankfully, a teammate was there to instantly play it, so it goes right back to the middle of the map, and then TOX, they don't have to worry about this Denial setup in Sniper and Green. They can now do the same thing that they did before, just play that zone game out, and now they're going to get the camouflage here. Shele goes, they know they have camo, so at least they can time that next time. But I like that Snakebite is patrolling around this area. Yeah,
Snakebite just being a nuisance with that camo on the opposite side of the map. I'm a bit surprised that he bailed completely, but I wouldn't be surprised if he just goes for a top center and tries to create some more havoc. Generally, you don't want to play too passive with camo. You want to be a factor across the map and make some moves. So right there, tries to make some moves, tries to actually cut off Commonly's back route where he commonly could have backed down into top gold, and Commonly says, I didn't know there's a back button in this game or a back movement. I'm just going to keep moving forward and charge right through you.
Ball was played once again. Commonly now brings it over to the green side and doing the same exact thing that Eco did before, but 3 teammates down because of a triple kill from Lethul. That's going to allow them to be able to pin them in the back. Another shot. Nasty plays. That's the killing spree. Lethul brings this back, gives TOX that control that they needed.
But they're receiving some pressure from multiple angles. Since they put so much pressure on bottom tree, that's going to force the spawns out from Denial to other parts of the map. And that ended up being blue, where they just have a complete pinch naturally across the top center of the map.
Sniper was blown off there when Commonly got the kill. Commonly going to be one of the last members left alive here. He's looking around. I think he wonders if that sniper was still there, but was the sniper there?
I thought it was on the ground.
No, I could have sworn I saw that sniper.
I thought I did too.
Unless the game just decided to deceive us, because you hate to see that happen.
I'm pretty sure it was there at the bottom of S1. We're going to find out here in a second. The Snakebite rounds this corner and looks at APG's body.
Oh, good play ball, and no, there it is. So he plays the ball, and it's not there. You see? I told you, it's just not there. Don't, you know, I know what I saw. Listen, I may wear glasses all the time, but, you know, I got the vision. I got the vision. Okay, well, another play ball, 66 points to 4. This is looking a lot like that last game, that last ball game that Denial played against TOX in the winter bracket finals. Maybe Shele could be the difference maker here with the camo. APG not aware to that at all. The assassination, the double kill Shele gets, but he has no shields. Might get tagged here, but no one has an angle on him, so he's able to stay alive, fight another day. Aries with the ball now, and this could be Denial's opportunity to come right back.
Yep, Aries going towards top elbow to try to watch anyone jumping top center of gold. Going to try to avoid giving up too much shield damage randomly to someone who's not overly exposed. The position that Aries put himself in, someone has to pretty much poke out completely over at camo side in order to damage Aries or be in top center.
Straight Sick got a double that prevented that push from becoming successful. And Straight Sick, another kill from him as well. He's, again, just been so great. Spawns on blue side. So Straight Sick's going to be alone over here. The ball's going to be at the elbow.
There must be a player still at bottom tree. Yeah, that's a great bait by Snakebite in a situation where he was kind of isolated by himself over at bottom tree. He forces Straight Sick actually to be fearful and play the ball.
Aries with some body shots on the sniper, seeing no scopes. Looking over, getting that overlook position by Ball and Gold. There is a teammate there, straight sick, but Shele has grabbed that ball and he's bringing it out.
And Tree is taken again.
Tree,
I'm not sure if they just forced, if they still had a player there, or if they had a split spawn there because there was some fights going on over at Blue Gold. But either way, you could tell there's a bit of uncertainty. And that ball player was kind of in a tough situation because I feel like that player wouldn't have ran the ball towards Tree if they knew someone was there. So I do agree with playing the odds. And then there's a situation if you're not certain if there's someone's Tree or not, and you had cleared it out previously, you almost have to try to trust in the odds and say, all right, I'm still gonna push on over towards Tree and hopefully block spawns before they get over, before they get a spawn over there.
This calls back to what we were mentioning, I think, on Pit, that TOX do so well, is they always make sure that they have someone there. They always make sure that there's, whether it maybe was just a lucky spawn because it was a split spawn and that was the circumstances that it was, there's just a person playing it so well in that area that it leads to that uncertainty. 2 down for Denial. Snakebite grabs the ball again. He's going to have to play this one. Does he play it over the ledge? No, it's actually going to get stuck here, but it's okay.
It's okay if it's in that location because they still have control of Snipe Tower. Even though that player got picked off at bottom 3, generally if you still have someone over at Snipe, you're in a decent enough position where you can still contest bottom 3, and it's not like that ball is going to be the biggest it's not going to be this massive threat where the team's going to be able to scoop up a ton of time, as long as that player on Snipe Tower is still staying alive and eventually gets super reinforced.
And Snakebite saw that in the kill feed, the assassination from Straight Sick, and he said, nope, not going to hold on to this one a second longer. He dumps that ball instantly, but it is going to go in the hands of Denial, and Aries is going to make his way to gold.
Yep, Aries moving on towards gold. He's going to be calmly sitting over towards bomb tree, and this is a really good setup here for Denial. Now, here comes the moment where TOX are going to push, and unfortunately, they have to commit fully. You notice how Lethul, he wasn't able to poke a ton of damage onto players before committing. Instead, he just jumps all the way out into top center because at some point, you have to make that move. And if they aren't giving you the challenges you want, you just have to go blindly.
Straight Sick has so many shots in that sniper rifle to work with. They have the ball, and they're gaining. They're getting those points back. How does TOX play out of this one? This is going to be quite the challenge. Instantly flies in the air, and he gets deleted.
There's got to be someone else coming, whether it's across lift or whether someone's flanking down low or charging across top center. There's someone else coming without a doubt, and it looks like Straight Sick was not able to find who that was, and they pay for it as Eco gets a double kill and has control of Sniper and the Snipe Tower.
And they should be able to get the ball right away. Yeah, so the ball was picked up. It's going to be brought by Snakebite over to the green side. Eco, he's watching that blue lift and tagging anyone that he needs to, because when you're able to put pressure with that sniper, get that, he knows that player's still going to be stuck there, but he gets assassinated by Aries, and he did not expect that whatsoever.
Constant flanks here from these members of Denial, and I don't know how Aries got over there. I feel like if Aries had lifted, someone would have spotted that and seen that.
Well, was anyone looking at blue though? Because maybe
there's a chance that he could have went from top, top blue, top center, and then does a loop over from S3 to S2. But that timing would have had to have been pretty perfect for them to slip over there unseen and slip behind that sniper.
I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those two options.
Because you hear the lift everywhere. Like, the lift is so loud. There had to have been, it was just a great sneaky play. Good nade from Lethul. Straight Sick. Back to the respawn screen for him. He's going to bring that ball over to the snipe side, and he does. And
he did want to jump right there. I think he kind of realized his mistake as he got over there. It's like you almost never gain any sort of advantage from jumping on elbow as far as like blocking off a certain angle. I guess you can arguably in some cases maybe block someone shooting you from bottom blue lift over towards elbow, but for the most part, you always want to keep your feet planted. In fact, in many cases, you may even want to just crouch to avoid angles from being hit you.
More players flying from the lift. Eco, other side of the map. Snakebite right in front, and now Lethul He's got to make a decision, and he plays that ball. He's no
like
shields.
that play.
Yeah, it's a great play.
And
he stays in green. He keeps that strong spot for them so that they can continue to use that when they get that control, when they push that snipe tower.
Yeah, there's multiple different scenarios on how to know when to play ball, whether it's going to be a situation where you drop it and try to slay and do damage, versus holding on to the ball and scrapping up those last few extra seconds.
Yeah.
So in a situation where you want to drop and slay, you probably have at least a decent amount of distance away from opponent, or you haven't really taken any damage, or you feel like you can play the ball without taking any damage. That is usually, just like I said, as a general rule of thumb, a good time to play it, stay alive, and slay. Other situations where you want to just grab it, hold on to it, scrap it a few seconds is maybe your teammates are all down already. You have no chance of getting any sort of slays, whether you've already taken some damage or you are in such a terrible position that you realize that there's no way, like I said, that you're going to be able to play it and stay alive. That's maybe a time where you just want to scrap the last few seconds. Or even in a game where maybe the game is neck and neck and it's a low-scoring game, those 2 or 3 seconds are actually incredibly valuable in the grand scheme of things, and that's maybe a time where you want to scrap it up. But for the most part, at the highest level of play, killing and getting those slays is what wins you the games. And just like that, when Lethul got that play ball and stayed alive, it allowed his team to ideally come out ahead in the slaying game.
Also, I like Snakebite's approach on the elbow with the ball. He's been holding this and dropping it and sending his utility. So his nades, he sends one to the mid, maybe tried to scope someone out. He saw that player charge. Surely he saw him, and they know that they don't have this side anymore. So he has to make a play immediately, but he can't throw it down. He can't send the ball away and make it play ball. So now it's going to sit there in green, and I don't know if anyone, looking at the screens on my end, Aries is going to be there. Shele has it.
Yep.
They now have control, and that's a tough one. Snakebite could not play that ball.
Yeah, you can't really blame for that one. That was also just a ridiculous angle there that Commonly had to get that finish and hit that shot perfectly. So just perfect execution there from Commonly and the Now squad in order to get that. In order to get that ball stopped. Now, not so perfect execution and position there once they had the setup, because you saw how quickly TOX took that one over.
They've been doing that time and time again on this map. It's like Guardian, they just break it down to a science. Every moment that Denial has a slight moment of breathing room, TOX is just all over them. And then they get the ball, and then they get more points. It's just been nonstop. Denial just haven't really figured out, and I think this, in a way, kind of answers my question at the beginning of the game. Like, did they really try and have the discussion about ball? I mean, really, you can't, because TOX is just playing it better.
Yeah, if I had to try to pinpoint throughout this game what some of the bigger issues are is I feel like when Denial does get some sort of full setup and full control, they aren't maximizing on the amount of time they can get on it, and they're not making TOX work as hard as they need to break some of these setups.
Ooh, that was a big nade. I think Shele took some damage there, and nice shots there from Straight Sick, making that player weak. That was lethal. I think Shele, that nade blew up and actually sent both of those guys flying. So he had to bail out. Now they're going to start to get some points.
I mean, it's already mathematically impossible.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, I'm bad at math, so everyone, please feel free to criticize me on the forums, on Reddit, Twitch chat. It's perfectly fine.
But yeah, they're going to try and make the score a little bit more respectable. They're obviously going to
get that
play this one out. Don't have any sort of, like,
are you sure it's mathematical
forfeit option here. Like,
how confident are you? Scale of 1 to 10. Tell me right now.
Go for an insta? Go for an insta? No. You can technically do it with frag nades, but you aren't going to get a one-hit kill with a frag grenade. You're gonna you can finish off someone who's already weak, but yeah, one frag grenade that's set off on a full shielded person or full health person is not gonna kill them.
I just love it when you talk about instas, Dave. You know.
I do too. I'm sure the chat's all saying, wait, don't stop there. Can you tell us more about them?
Yeah, exactly.
They're not.
They want all of the knowledge. They just want to pick your brain, you know. I think everyone here feels the same. Just keep going. Keep going. Talk about those instances. Serenade us.
Save it for later.
Save it for later. Save it for later.
Save it for later. Yeah, we got a neck and neck game here right now.
That's true.
Actually, GB, I was playing with you. It's still mathematically possible. It's a hype one. Get hyped up.
No, listen. Okay, he's got the ball. He's got to. You know, listen, I've said this many times. I said this line. The New York public education system failed me horrendously. I can't tell you how many times I've been commentating a game, and I just keep going, and then the person's like, hey, I hate to break it to you, though, man. It's mathematically impossible. It's like, well, you know, you'd be shocked how the hell I got on NBC. God knows how.
You're like, I'm bad at math, can't do that, and I'm also bad at English. I don't know what mathematically impossible means.
Exactly, man. Come on. Like, English is not my first language, you know, clearly. Anyway, well, that is going to be the game for TOX. They're going to go up in the series 2-1. And I'm not all that shocked, given how they played Guardian Ball last time. It's like they break it down to a science. Every time that they got like 2 down, they were playing for that ball and then dragging out another player of Denial to get that 3rd person down, and then they would bring that ball over to green side. And they kept doing that over and over and over and over again, and Denial just could not figure it out.
Yeah, they were having a lot of trouble there to bring that one back. And it wasn't a matter of like execution in some cases, because we saw some stellar individual plays. We saw times where they got triple kill. We saw times where they had setups and they had the opportunities were there.
Think about that snipe that when Snakebite didn't get to play the ball by lift, right? That was a great snipe, and that's a huge moment where you can grab the ball and then you get back into this and then you start gaining some points. But instantly when that happens, they're right back in it. Yeah. Snakebite and the crew, they're just pouncing on you.
Yeah, it just feels like they were able to break their full steps a bit too easy. I mean, there were some times where you saw TOX kind of overcommit like they had to and make a charge, and once in a while Denial would get that stop, but they weren't ever getting those setups that netted them, you know, 20-plus points. It always felt like they got, you know, a 10 or 15, and at some point a player or two would die, and that set would generally collapse really quickly.
Well, so for the first time in this grand final, TOX have a series lead, 2-1. Let's look at some of the replays brought to you by Skillshot here. There were some great moments. It was just really toxicity. They had, toxicity, you like that? Is toxicity low? Anyway, yeah, I crack myself up, you know. It's just, it's horrible. It's honestly horrible. Lul's in the chat. So, yes, Toxicity, that's Guardian. They own this place. They cannot seem to be stopped here, and I think that in the back of your mind, Denial had to have known this. They had to realize that they needed a serious adjustment in this map in order to win, and they did that. They did that. But now when you go back and you watch it, you have to break down the setups. How did they manage to break those each and every time and not provide Denial any kind of comfort in gaining points?
Yeah, I unfortunately don't have the answer to that one. I think that's something for them to figure out post this tournament.
I'm sure they will
after this tournament. But yeah, at this point, Denial can't worry about that. You have to, you have to roll the punches. Ooh. You can take a loss or two here and there. But yeah, they don't need to evaluate what they need to be doing different on Guardian right now. And even for us watching here on the sideline here in the spectator point of view, I don't know off the top of my head. Just based on those, I would have to go back, review some of the film, see a few individual gameplays, and try to figure out, all right, here seems to be a recurring or systemic mistake that they make.
Yeah.
Because I could talk about a few individual, misplays, whether it's like, all right, this player could have done this one decision differently. But when you're trying to improve as a team, you need to figure out what you're doing consistently wrong and how to fix that and recognize that in game.
We'll just look for Shyway to make a video about how to break that down.
That's true.
That's basically where it goes to. All right, here we go. Game 4. Heretic capture the flag. TOX Denial. TOX up 2-1. Denial feeding off of the energy in the crowd. But we're not going to start quite yet. I'm sorry, everybody. There we go. Now we're going to go. Now we're going to get the game going. I feel like at this point now, just I think production's just like, you know what, Golden Boy? We're just going to let you use up all that energy, get you hyped up, and then we're just going to mess around with you. And I'm okay with that. Keep me on my toes. Keep me on my toes, baby. We're all on our toes.
Right off the bat.
Break it down, Dave.
Break it down. Honestly, when you're doing instas over from street to street on pink, it's a matter of you look over at their side pink when you're running up towards pink 2, and then if they are ahead of you, you throw the nade a bit more shallow. If they're a bit further down their street, you can throw the nade deeper, and then you just send that insta flying. Whether they're hanging out over on that ledge jumping towards pink 3 or they're sitting in the middle of the street, you're going to get them with that damage anyways.
And a great start for Denial. That's going to get them their first cap. Because of that start, that leads to it. You know, Dave, instas lead to victory. That's basically the lesson we're learning here today.
That flag,
but it was a beautiful
if I had to approximate why that one was capped, I would say it was 99.9% because of that one insta-kill. I don't think there's any other factors at play there for that flag getting captured.
Clearly, Dave. Well, that's going to give Denial an early lead against TOX. And if you're a Denial fan, you're very happy about that, given how Denial have been playing. They needed that boost of energy to start off a game. And a cap early on in Heretic flag, that'll do it for you. That will definitely do it. Now, though, this is where TOX, they start to fly in. They start to put that pressure down. Shele with the double kill, though. Does he get it? Oh, APG survives, and he's going to get the beat down and continue to stay inside of the base. But well, let's break this down now, Dave. Where does TOX go from here? How is their what is their game plan? What is the game plan in Heretic in general?
Oh, in general, man. Let's see. I'm trying to think of which part I'd like to break down because there's a lot going on there. Let's break down that last scenario where APG was under the base. Once you have that flanker on the opposing side of the map and you don't have any sort of resistance in other spots, like APG helped clear it out over towards his bubble and helped clear out players at at the denial base. In a case like that, players need to fly. They need to get over towards top center. They need to get towards some power positions. They need to help meet up where APG was at. Get over towards the opposing base. You're not going to have players helping out in those situations.
Oh, no, that is not good.
Oh, no.
Dave, I got to talk about this because Eco had the flag, but he stumbled it on the pull. That could have been the cap, because you can tell he turned back around. He did not have it, and because of this denial, they're going to counter cap. They're going to manage to bring this flag in, and that is going to be number 2. Just that brief moment was so bad for TOX there, and that was such a beautifully executed play with that flank.
Overall, things went all right there, but they did kind of struggle to get that flag all the way back. It wasn't like a smooth sailing flag like we've seen in the past from TOX. So compare this current run to what they had in the past. The previous run, they had to run towards bomb center, bottom car. They were meeting shots the entire time. 1 or 2 different players died during that time. Whereas here, they're able to consistently move this flag across the map. They pick up 2 or 3 kills, and then they put it in for their first cap. So TOX putting their first flag on the board. This game is now 2-1.
All right, well, Snakebite gets that capture, but now denial. They got to figure out how they want to approach this. How can they get that 3rd flag cap in? So let's jump into a listen in with denial and hear the comms here on Heretic Capture the Flag.
Wait there, our car.
And their car.
That's huge, let's go. Live, you guys play their side.
Their car weak, Snakebite.
Our car still, our Gandhi.
Their car 1 hit. I'm dying from our car. 1 hit their car, Snakebite.
In the corner.
Lethal's weak their car. I got a shot. Snakebite's in front of their base, weak, Lethul. Absolutely under the base, Lethul. He's still under the base, in the front. He's still under 1 hit.
Our car weak.
You are last guy. We need to live more.
Our car still APG weak. I'm gonna die.
You are last guy, Hammy.
He's still
Come in.
I'm
gonna live.
Our flag right now, APG. Our car weak, Snakebite also. Weak our flag. Nice job, Mason. Our car, RP Street. Our car again, our toilet.
Dang, another one car through. There's 2 our car. 1 hit P2, absolute eco. 1 pushing our car right now, 1 our bubble.
Our bubble weak, Snakebite. I got 1.
Our car weak, Lethul. He's on our flag. He's on our car pocket. He's our P pocket now.
Our flag weak. P3 has shots on flag. I'm milking.
They're on their nerd.
Your last 2.
They're nerd right now. Eco has shots. They're nerd.
I got nades up there.
I'm
going P2 with you, Shele?
Their car. Going car 3, Corey. Car 3 pushing you. 2, their car. I'm dead. I can't see
Car 3 still Snakebite. Dude, P2 weak. They're nerds.
Our bubble going our car door. Our flag.
Their car.
Boy, a car. Car 2 weak, Snakebite. I got Snakebite.
We have numbers against
Our car. I need help. Their flag. Their flag weak. Their P pocket. Going car pocket.
Dude, on their P Eli. They're Eli the flag right now. Nice. No, Eli the flag right now.
The car.
Handing.
To their flag. That's to their flag. I'm shot. Once their car pocket. Once their glass on their lip hiding.
Yeah, go top middle.
I'm trying.
Never mind.
I died. Their flag weak, Lethul. 2 there.
They're street already?
Dude, their flag still.
They're flagging their P street.
P2 on Hemi.
They're Eli right now.
They're Eli right now. Mason, you're alone. Good shit, Mason.
We're going to
Mason.
control. We have
Just living at their base.
I'll go car.
Gandhi, I think?
One's up from base.
Our flag, and car 3. Eco has shots to their car. Car 2 weak.
Car 2 1 hits.
Mason, I'm coming.
I got 1 and 1. Car 2 1 hit. Eco. He's on our car right now. Last has our car. Our car to flag right now.
We're running a car. We're running a car.
Watch our flag. Watch our flag. Going pink.
Flag taken.
I have it. Our bubble. Our pink still, guys. I have it. Our bubble.
2 RP1.
Our pink.
Eco's weaker, Eli.
Lift Shele.
Car 3 nading us.
He's gonna kill me then.
Car 3 on Corey.
Car 3 on bubble.
Henry, just get killed.
Eli as well.
Running a car.
Okay.
Flag drop.
Hurt.
Car 2 hurt. Car 2 car 2.
Car guys.
One's our Gandhi, the flag.
I'm pushing that guy. He's our bubble. Our car weak Eco. Our car weak Eco. I can't get him.
One shot on it.
I'm looking for
I got 1. I know on their flag. Their flag weak, Lethul. 2 shots. Under the base, 1 hit, Lethul. Absolute. Absolute.
Nice, I got him.
Under their base, the lifted. Weak.
I'm on their P pocket right now.
Live, your last
They're
hit.
gonna push me. I didn't get a trade. He's 1 shot. Absent the bubble. Our car, Snakebite.
They got their bubble. Pushing their car.
They're Eli.
He's going front. He went front.
He's out box. Jump out of mid.
Their core slide. Eco dead.
I went big. 3 dead. I'm P2. They're nerd.
While all that activity was going on, TOX manages to tie this game back up. Now I want to jump over to their side of the field and see how they are going to execute another cap potentially. Or will Denial shut this down? Let's go to the comms with TOX.
Brian, don't do it. Try not to. Yo, listen, slow it down. I have shots on me, guys. Ellie's one shot top mid. Go top mid. Pick 1-1, guys. I can't look. Under base, watch the nade. P1 dead. Where's the guy in front of it? Got him. Ping 3. That's 2 dead and there's 1 ping 3, guys. They're window. P3, kill me, they're nerd. Hammy's dead, 3 dead. They're car last guy. Small car 2. Kevin, careful. He's their car door. One shot car 2 to your right, Kevin. Oh, he got me. I shot him. Should we go back? No. Go back. They're window. Guy is car 2. I'm pushing B. I got off ping 3. Top it. Aries weak. I've shot him. Under their base. One shot face, one shot P1. P1. One shot P1 Aries, we never killed him. P2. Gonna be P1 Aries somewhere. 2 P2. Go P2. P1 Aries. NRP1. Nading. Pushing. 3. Back up. 3. You got frag on? Yeah, I'm nading. Are you alive? P3. Watch my nade. P1 still. Underneath probably, guys. Yeah. Yeah, he's dropping on you. Yeah, on me. Aries. Absolute our base Aries. I can't look. NRP door kill me? Still live. We gotta live. We need to live. Yeah, running a car there, running a car. Push on flag, Azul flag. Carries blinking. I got one hit. Still our car. Window, another guy. Bring it down, Guardian, push it. Window. Nice. Every, I think. R2 weak, Aries. They're sliding, they're window. Our base? Our flag, yeah. Our flag, Kevin might. Nice, Kevin. Watch our toilet, turn around, fight, turn around, though. Aries, it's Aries. Car 2 straight to our flag. Lift up. They're got he's gonna run a car, but he doesn't know where it is. There's more there. I have nades. I can stop him maybe? Up here, Teach, come help me. Another one. Looking. 36 one shot. They're got 2 dead. We died. We commonly. And B hard P3 or something? Yeah. That'll be 3 dead. Last guy's P3. Last guy's P2. Give their side. Yeah, I've shot something. PJ, go to their bubble. Go to their bubble. Base weak. Got him. They're gonna be their flag. Guys, we got. I'm blocking their car. Aries with their back left. Big one spawn, Brad. Looking. One shot. I think their car pocket. Under their base. Aries. 2 dead. I got him already. 3 dead. Last guy. Tunnel. Shele. Tunnel. Guys, Kevin. I'm watching Big One spawn. I'm watching it. Stay set up. All spawners.
Drop.
Actually, I'm taking one. I'm making Where? This one car. Some other flag. Their flag. Good job, guys. Keep this up. Yo, front their base. Going Pink Street. I'm looking Pink Street. 2. Flying. I died, bro. I should have lived. My bad. Top middle. One's going top mid. Still top mid. I have shots top mid. One's our Eli. I hit our bubble once. Our bubble. Guys, one Brad. Nice kill. Our Eli top mid and they're going. I'm pulling now. Got shots. He's trying to pull it top. I didn't come. Bottom me one shot and then flag air. I'm not gonna be able to. They're flying. They're window. We got Aries. Want to miss somewhere? Okay, nice. P pocket with Eli. I can't look at it. Swear the Eli back here. P2, Kev. Yo, guys, play your lives. R2, one shot.
2 great listen-ins back-to-back from Denial and TOX. Clean comms. These guys, they're in the zone right now.
Yes, just doing everything right. And I can't believe we saw Denial do a top mid flag run. Generally, anytime you do one of those runs, that means you have so much control across the map, and they just did it so quickly.
It's like a unicorn, a majestic unicorn that you don't get to see all the time. Shele, though, double kill from him. Another killing spree for Shele, who's having a great tournament. Denial now inside of the base of TOX. Eco off spawn. He's getting pelted by shots from the car as well as P-side. There's so much control on this map that Denial have, and now they're sending 2 players car side. TOX gotta shut down one of these players here. I can't believe Shele's still alive.
Shele's still alive, and not only that, just laying so much damage to Lethul there during that scenario. A little failed insta there going up towards the pink 2, which was totally fine. They still ended up taking out Shele anyways, but looks like these TOX were able to break out of that snare because that could have been disastrous. They're only 1 cap away.
It's just how good he is, right? Like, him staying alive like that is so impressive. Shele comes in, and Shele is going to go away immediately after that. APG now has a flag. This could be number 4 here for TOX. We could go right back to a tied game here. Has Denial got them with their back against the wall, or can TOX repel them as TOX have tied the game 4-4? Oh boy, Dave, this has been such a barn burner.
Yes, next cap's gonna win in this situation. However, I wonder if either of the teams are gonna play timid. Last time we saw during pit flag where it's just one cap away, TOX sort of hunkered down. They played a little safe. They didn't want to make any risky moves, but I can't really see a team fully backing down and staying safe here on Heretic. This map is always so chaotic. There's always going to be someone who can slip by. There's always going to be a push to make.
There is no safe place to hide and to play it slow on Heretic. The map was just not meant to be played like that, bro. And that is why you're seeing these players fly against each other. The kills, they're coming in hot and heavy, as they should be. 4-4 in the score. Time left on the clock. Next cap wins. It doesn't matter what time it is, because it's game time. Ooh,
yeah,
I'm loving it.
Zero hesitation here from Straight Sick and the Snell squad. You notice how he was under the base, saw that he had a small window of opportunity and climbed right through as he got up towards pink 3. Just those little bits of vulnerability in their setups where they can slip by and get to a power position has been one of the things that has been hurting this TOX roster.
Yeah, and I always appreciate, too, how when Straight Sick, for example, in P2, he knows that he's going to die. There was a potential that he was going to die from that nade. He lives, he still follows up with a kill, and then when he finally is eliminated from P2, there's someone right there to pick up the slack. That's Shele, and this could be the 5th one. This could be the 5th one! He gets the top
play! He's top middle again. Gets all the way back to his
flag. He gets it! The explosion! No! Go back to the game! It's still there! It's still there! Shele, he has got the flag, and that's gonna do it! Oh my word! I thought I was gonna lose my mind! Lose my mind for a moment there. But Denial, they're gonna tie the series.
And they just ran that so quick where it was an unexpected scenario. Like, generally the flag's pulled and you could be over towards pink side, be towards car side, and you're still going to have a huge effect on that flag. But sometimes when it moves as fast as possible, when you take the quickest route possible, like there on Heretic, or even like going from plat to green on pit, if someone's not there to react instantly and stop that, it can become a threat really quick. And that's exactly what happened for the 5th and final flag against TOX.
Did we just see a double rainbow, bro? 2 top flag runs? What a time to be alive. Halo 3 in 2019 is fire.
The game has changed.
The game's changed.
It ain't what it used to be.
These darn kids changing the game, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
Tell them, Dave.
You see, back when I played, you'd run a car flag, you'd run a pink, and every once in a while you'd go bottom mill. Just the top mill stuff is just a little too fancy and flashy.
Too fancy.
These whippersnappers nowadays.
How dare they?
Yeah.
All right, well, here are the replays by Skill Shot. Oh, man, what a series this has been. I did not expect this.
No, no. This has been an absolutely incredible match. I think a lot of teams, or a lot of spectators, and even our casters are assuming like, oh, maybe TOX might stomp this series or might just dominate. And it's like, no, Denial are just giving us the best match we could possibly hope for here in the grand finals.
And that is going to lead to Denial taking that game, tying up this series 2-2. No one is giving in, as they shouldn't. Let's take a look at that series layout when we get a chance, and then reflect on what we have seen in the past and what we're going to see in the future. So we started off with Narrows capture the flag. That went to Denial 3-2, close game. Then another nail-biting game, 50-48. TOX get the win right at the final seconds. And then Guardian Oddball slowed down a little bit. TOX had that control. They had Denial's number, and Denial needed to respond. And they do just that in Heretic capture the flag. 5-4. Again, another nail-biter. You do not want to get up and go to the bathroom, folks, because you blink, you might miss something. If you're not at your computer, you might miss something. Pit Slayer's about to go down, and this one's going to be awesome.
Yeah, 3 insanely close games, and then there was Guardian Oddball, which obviously was a one-sided affair, but the most impressive part is that Denial, they aren't faltering under this pressure. When it gets to a tie game, you know, 4-4 in that flag game or 2-2 in the flag game, they're the ones that are able to clutch it up and close it out, and that's usually a factor or a tribute that we've given to TOX in the past, talk about how they're always such a closer team, how they're such a clutch squad.
Here we go, folks. Let's get hyped. Let's wake up, St. Louis. We got some great Halo that's being played right now. This is what you love if you're a fan of professional Halo. These players leaving it all out on the main stage. And now, though, Pit slows down quite a bit. Players jockeying for position as the first kill is going to go. And, oh, there's that overshield. I think that player probably got tagged by that.
But no, done a little bit, but nothing crazy. Oh, wow, yeah.
It was just I think it may have been just some small splash damage, but nothing really that's going to affect him all that much. Lethul, he's going to run away Shele's still going to have some overshield.
He's going to have a fight, though, here first. So he's not just going to be able to pick those up immediately. And that is such a smart play from Shele. I think most players in that situation would have instantly been holding down the pickup weapon button, and they would have, you know, he would have gotten first shotted against from Eco. Eco would have, you know, calmed down a little bit, realized he's not receiving any pressure, and would have been able to at least trade in that situation. So Shele, realizing that he has to take over control of that ground and that area first before he was able to safely pick up that weapon. So that takes a lot of guts and I would say a lot of insight to understand that you don't pick up a rocket, even though there's one load in the chamber, until you know it's the safe time to.
This player, Shele, has throughout the course of this competition really just become a household name. For anyone who follows Pro Halo closely, it's great to see fresh faces, new people seeking out new opportunities. And Shele has just lived back here. He's patrolled around the TOX side of the map. He's taken out players with these rockets. He's given them a comfortable lead and allowed his team to be able to push up on their side so well.
Yes, and he's also in a prime position if they somehow force these courtyard spawns, which was a possibility because he had straight stick, and I believe it was Aries who was over currently, or was previously in that Needler pit, and there was a chance they could have spawned someone in court. And if someone spawned in court and you have rockets on top of that that sniper, that's one of the easiest spawn kills you could ask for.
Commonly has a sniper rifle in hand, and he has help from his teammate. I think he may have repaid him back.
Watch out, Shele. They threw a grenade over there. Don't worry, I got
boy.
you back, though.
Shele, it's okay, man. You know, it's all right. It happens to the best of us. We all just walk into grenades from the enemy team randomly, specifically the enemy team. Oh! Well, I was making a terrible joke. Snakebite, he had overshield, and he gets deleted with the overshield because of the plasma pistol. When you charge it up, it removes all shields, especially the overshield. Such a great power weapon, quote unquote, to have against a utility like the overshield.
Yeah, combos always had a, plasma pistols always had a unique place within, you know, the first 3 Halos especially. Like Halo 1, it used to have that stun mechanic where it would slow someone's turn rate, and you could actually do a few bursts in the melee.
Or in Halo 2, where it'll literally
it
follow you everywhere you go.
Yeah, I mean, it'll follow you like a
Thanks,
crazy ex-girlfriend. There's like nothing you do to get away with from that one.
Shout out to the noob combo.
Yeah, so that one was absolutely crazy.
Online.
And then Halo 3 here, like you said, when it comes down to specific scenarios when somebody is funneled in through a narrow area, aren't paying attention, or like you said, to help take out that OS, it's had a unique place.
One thing that they definitely tweaked from Halo 2 to 3 was the homing capability of the plasma pistol. I don't know. I've had a couple times where I've had the plasma pistol dead to rights on someone's face, and it's just gone the other direction. It's not fair. It's not a very kind weapon at times, but in that instance, it worked out, and that will help Denial to hold this lead. 5 kills, and they have 2 snipers, straight sick and commonly, and that means that TOX needs to they have to be quiet. They can't make much noise, because if they do, they may be walking away without no face.
Well, also the map's gotten split in an odd way. Generally, you have it split between, you know, red base and blue base, but it seems to be partially split, or at least was temporarily split, where you had part of blue base along with like the hallway side in favor of Denial, and then it seemed like TOX had control of sword side of the map.
Oh, and he picks up the overshield. Lethul gets it. He stayed alive over there despite all of those nades flying in every single direction, but gets blown up. That is going to be thanks to Shele with the rockets. Lethul knew that he was around there, but he wanted to get into the sword area to probably pressure that sniper player. Shele, he had another plan.
Yeah, Shele just doing great work, and green is still such a strong spot to bring those rockets. Even when the opposing team knows you're in there, they don't have many great options to answer it. You can obviously jump up on maybe the top yellow mat and then jump over so you're flying through the air when you challenge there, but generally to peek around and look inside green and see if that player is in there, you risk your life.
You have 4 options in that, and neither of those options are great, right? You can either just walk across, which obviously why would you do? Jump across. You can go from yellow ledge and then drop down, or go to yellow and then jump off, and then maybe you can catch him off guard. But even then, it's like, why would you even do that? Rocket guy's just gonna blow you up every time.
And I know you think I'm just gonna be gassing you up here, but honestly, it's one of those situations. If you're uncertain about green, you insta it. You have the 2 plasma grenades that spawn over there by second BR. And I've gotten countless times where it turns from a situation, if I had just peeked around the corner and fought there, I would die, and turns to something where I just blindly instant there
because
and
you can
kill a
angle it
rocket
in.
player.
Because you can angle it in.
Yep.
And that's what you need there, because you have no other. There's no other way for you to earn that angle other than to use an insta in that situation.
It's a low risk play, like you said, no risk on death wise, and you can sometimes make that assumption that if they've gotten rockets, it's a very common spot to be sitting with.
Well, Shele is here by sword, and it's 25-22. The game slowed down, as it should. Given that TOX, you don't want to give up any useless deaths here. Snakebite now. The game has gone on so long that Snakebite now has a rocket launcher, so yay, right? You got to be kind of happy about that. Shele gets away. That was going to be a snipe. I believe that was going to come from, I think, yes, that's APG who has a snipe for Denial. And the overshield that commonly obtains. Well, does he push in with this, Dave?
I mean, does he ever not push in? I mean, like...
There was that one time. There was that one time he had...
That's true, he went back towards like his back flag side.
He had overshield, and he went all the way around. So I'm just saying. Just saying.
There is times, but I think it is
tied game, by the way.
Considered a mistake to not use that advantage and make some sort of push. And this is the #1 spot you want if you are trying to push into the opposing base. If you can take over their snipe hut when they are still over on that side, they are in a world of hurt. They have very limited options. They don't have a good way to challenge over towards the top turret. And their second option is to try to push through and flip the map. They have to try and push through green and hallway. And sometimes that can funnel through in a narrow area and spell disaster as well. So they really don't have great options.
Here. I love Commonly's angle here by the dumpster. When he pushed up, got to commend Snakebite, because most players, myself mostly, would have just shot a rocket directly at him. That would have been a good old-fashioned puckered rocket, and I would have missed. But he shot the wall and removed the overshield. But Commonly, smartly enough, just goes back over to that courtyard. You know where these spawns are going to come from now, and they're controlling where TOX spawns.
Yeah, that's absolutely crazy, because you always critique me for talking so much about instas, but you seem to know a lot about being around a dumpster, like as far as because you're trash. Yeah,
that's right.
So,
I'm straight.
So you can just go on and on about what's the other best way to play around a dumpster.
Hey, you know what? Twitch.tv/GoldenBoyFTW. I'll show you guys. I got you covered. That was a shameless plug for my stream. I think I earned that one after Walshy just called me trash in front of thousands of people. Broke my heart, but it's okay, Dave. We're still friends. You'll still you'll still get a card for Christmas. Don't worry about it. 32-29 now. Denial. Even though TOX brought this back, Denial, they get over shield yet again, and they manage, well, I was going to say, and they manage to hold the lead, but just as I was saying that, TOX just dives right on in. Now they're going to have the lead. The great stick there on Aries is going to remove the overshield from the equation.
Yeah, so this game slowed down a bit, and I think this this generally should favor TOX when they have their side fully under control. So it seems like it's obviously been a near even game. I forget what the exact scoreline was when we first entered this stalemate. It felt like it was about even. I want to say there was a 2-kill deficit. I can't remember which team was ahead there, 25-23. But in short, I feel like this slow play when TOX has a full side of the map locked down, that's got to be very comfortable for them. And an insta right on the rocket spawn spot.
You called it, Dave. You said that's what you wanted. Players utilize those instas around the corner, give you some angles, force people back. Does just that now. Denial stacked up on their, I would say, like just right behind that 50-yard line. But Aries with the rockets,
this play.
He has a lot of rockets in the chamber. He could use this and get 2 kills, potentially tie this one right back up. Maybe give him the lead.
In this situation, I would almost even hide completely over at the combo spawn. I think it's just an ideal time where you can get someone to overcommit in there. No need to, for example, if a sniper does decide to go all the way towards that side, if you kill him over there, you have to risk your life in order to pick that weapon up. Whereas if they commit and round that corner, you can finish them off completely. And grab that weapon.
And another thing too, for Denial, this is very frustrating. Every time that there's like a moment, a kill comes through. Lethul, he got the last 2. He's done it so many times now with that snipe. He's found a target, locked on, nailed it. Small kills, right? Just one kill here, 1 kill there. When you have Denial playing in this stalemate, this is rough. And now everything's gonna heat up again in the overshield. Ooh, that rocket was right in front of him, but he manages to stay alive. Shele He's going to be the victim there, and APG gets the overshield. He's going to get out scot-free with plenty of shielding to protect him.
Yeah, that was a scary situation. That rocket could have been a little bit lowered. Took out APG before it grabbed it, but great series of events. But you kind of hit the nail on the head earlier saying how TOX were doing a great job just getting pick by pick. It feels like sometimes we're in this exact stalemate scenario, TOX knows how to come out ahead in those exchanges.
Woo.
Despite that happening, though, there was that great push earlier when Lethul overextended a little bit. They had members, they had Shele poking out from the sword. They had another player poking out from the bridge, and so they did a really good job double/triple teaming Lethul when they found out his location.
I also want to mention as well that the sniper for TOX is down on their side, and Straight Six running straight over to his sniper because it's going to be right in front of him. He needs to get that. You don't want to let TOX get more than one sniper on the map. Looking here, they already have two, so if they would have picked up a third one, that would have been just crazy. And in the stalemate, Straight Sick is a guy, it's Snakebite, just frustrated, throws his hands up, and I don't blame him because Straight Sick, it has been just pinpoint for him every time. He just knows the angles to look at when players come around the corner. It's clinical.
Yeah, just winning those straight up 1v1 sniper fights, and those can't be overstated. Unfortunately, some of those kills haven't been rolling into a larger advantage because sometimes what you'll see during stalemate scenarios, yeah, it's so far back, but sometimes you'll also see during stalemate scenarios is a sniper picks off the other sniper, and that's the other team's cue to push. They get that significant advantage, and they say, all right, we can now expose ourselves in more open areas without fear of getting picked off, and now we can make this massive push. And I don't like this play from Commonly at the moment. We'll see if it pays off.
No, it did not. I don't think he thought that two players were just going to be out in the bottom of the street like that.
Even so, even if you don't expect two players to be in that spot, whole point being is if you're going to make that play and that move, and oh no, Sniper falls down.
That's huge.
That's going to be a 7-kill lead for TOX along with the weapons. Now, let me break down why that flank is a bad idea at that time. It's not because he didn't know where people are at. It's because the game has been at a stalemate and there hasn't been action yet. If there's been a long enough pause in the game, you have to go with the assumption that the opposing team has all the angles watched. It's not like you're just going to be able to slip through long haul or slip through runway and get away with that. It's just not going to happen against the top team. And so you have to make that assumption. And he did not make that assumption. He could have made that move if there was some distraction going across the map.
Well, this is it. 49-40. TOX just need one more kill. Eco, he has rockets. He's looking for something with it. Lethul, on the other hand, with the sniper here, trying to find the angle in denial. They're not going to poke out. They have two snipers as well. Plenty of opportunities. Just get that one crisp headshot that ends the game and brings TOX to series point in the grand final. Lethul, maybe going for a little style there. I know him very well, and he didn't hit it. But they can't waste too many shots here. Lethul's gonna die, but APG's gonna pick it up, and that's gonna be the game. TOX are gonna take the lead, and they're at series point, 50-41, and that was a slow one, a grinder of a game, but it went to TOX in the end.
Yep, and when it slowed down like that, it seemed to definitely favor TOX. I mean, we've had a couple other games where we had slow moments where Denial did all right, but it just felt like every single exchange there is like, all right, TOX would get 3 kills where Denial would only get 2, or TOX would get 2 kills and Denial would only get 1, or they might even just get that one snipe pickup here and there.
I think it was also that stalemate mid-game when TOX were trickling kills, right? The 3 kills that they got, because you mentioned, right, they get a kill, but then TOX get 2. But it was that one in particular that sticks out to me, only because there was no value gained by Denial at all. It was a stalemate for a super long time.
Besides looking at these amazing clips we're going to see in a second, I'm looking at the scorelines there, and that was 17-22 that TOX were down.
Wow.
And the game slowed down around like the low 20s. So I feel like obviously once it slowed down, they were able to not only swing that 5-ish kill deficit or so, they were also able to extend that lead and close it out, like we said, by 8-ish kills.
Moment that they had a numbers advantage when they were down, they pressed their advantages, right? They knew that they had that slight upper hand to be able to.
Jeez.
That was just nasty. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one to end that montage there on. But yes, so that is going to do it for Pitt. It was a different tone of game than what we've been seeing, right? Some hectic matchups. And here's the series layout to get you guys up to speed once again in this TOX Denial grand final that is in a bracket reset. Denial won that first series 4-1, but because TOX had not lost a series yet, they get to play again. And this is the score line. Some of these games, very hectic. Heretic captured a flag, for example, 5-4, went down to the wire. Narrows captured a flag, same thing there. Amplified Slayer, and it's like just had insanity after insanity despite Guardian Oddball, and then Pit Slayer 50-41. That was a much different story, and it proves that these two teams, when they need to slow it down, they will slow it down. Yep. And TOX, though, have a slight ability, a slight upper hand to just control that game.
Just a bit more comfortability. I mean, even just like I said, that one flank play from Commonly, I think that would work in a neutral situation where there's a bit more chaos going on. But it was a standoff situation, and they didn't have enough distraction to warrant that push. Not that that is the sole fact they lost the game, but it just goes to show a clear-cut mistake that you saw from the Denial squad during that standoff time. Well, if you remember from the first series, Onslaught captured a flag was the one game that TOX managed to win. And they ran back-to-back caps numerous times. History repeated itself with Guardian Oddball. Will it happen again here on Onslaught, or will it Denial figured it out? But we're ready for a hectic game, Dave. This could be it for TOX. This is the series. If they win, they will be your Halo Classic champions. Or will Denial force this one into a Game 7? Well, we're about to find out right here. I would not count them out just because they lost this one earlier. This one's close enough game between the two squads. It's going to come down to slaying.
Slaying is the name of the game. Presence early on, very important. Let's see how these two teams square off. And I mean, I asked you before about Heretic and how Heretic flag is played, but you know, let's kind of bring everyone up to speed on Onslaught capture the flag. What should people be looking for here? And nice double kill from Straight Sick.
It's getting some of those kills, and then it's just getting those free kills when they spawn A or B side. You have multiple options on where you can spawn slay, whether you're going up into one of the nests in top center, or whether you're going into the corners of the opponent's base, like over in B corner or top A corner box. But you have a few different perches that you can stand on top of and just rain down shots on the opponent spawning down low in the dumpster where you like to go.
That's going to be 3 down for TOX, and now Commonly he's going to be on the right side of the TOX base, and TOX need to get him out of there. Commonly, though, wisely enough, is going to dip out. He has some teammates that are going to provide some cover fire. Snakebite, though, gets the kill on Straight Sick, and the follow-up on Eco, which is going to just leave Commonly by himself. And because he shot that and he has so many players in front of him, it was an admirable effort, but he was not able to stay alive. And Denial were not able to turn this into a flagpole. Even TOX fight them out of their base.
Nope, yeah, they were able to fight their way out, and both these teams are going to keep vying for control of this top center area. Like, you can flank down low, you can make some of those pushes, but majority of the time you're going to want top spots, just like APG was in for that moment. Just up there, we can rain down fire, buy time for his teammates to go in so many different directions, and finally gets that lead just right. Sometimes those can be so frustrating here when you're just slightly off on your lead here in Halo.
Ooh, nice double kill and killing spree for APG. But I was going to say as well, in the settings that we're playing here, the battle rifle is slightly stronger, so you don't need to hit all those bullets, right? Because in like if you're playing base settings. I mean,
oh yeah, compared to base settings, obviously it's just like the 10% difference. But whole point being is APG had that player already in one shot.
Yeah, no,
and
exactly.
He just wasn't able to hit that last headshot, and it was just just literally millimeters over to the side of getting that lead just a little bit better, and that could be frustrating.
Get that one extra bullet just to hit right at that moment. Take him out, send him back to respawn. But all right. Now though, eyes on the prize for Snakebite and company, as TOX are going to be inside of the Denial base. Snakebite wanted to get on top of the box there, but he ended up botching that jump. So he recorrects, he gets around, and is going to go hunting. Looking for Shele in front. Another player as well, Aries, but Aries is going to clean him out of the base there. And this has just been a close game. Neither team really establishing any level of control here, Dave.
Yeah, neither team's actually even been close to pulling a flag or getting any sort of capture. They just both realize how much importance there is on getting all these slays and getting strong positioning. So here's the start of potential spawn slays, though. You notice how Denial, they got a few slays, they're pushing over towards B corner, and they also have people over towards top A. This is just a pinch on either side to get spawn kills on the A side of Denial.
Double kill there. Flag is going to be away, but they got to get the return. He's going to be around that proximity, and the proximity return is in effect, and it will go back to their base. So the first pull is going to be a fail, but still, Denial, they're going to be the ones that prompt that. They're going to get that movement going. Eco, though, nice plays down low, putting shots in where he needs to, cleaning up players wherever there's an angle to clean them up, and most importantly, just trying to give them as much knowledge as they can.
Snakebite still playing a little cautious here, even though he's on Denial base and should be run this across the map. He's just feeling a little unsafe because Denial is so well known for sneaking out and flanking out. He doesn't want to start running that flag and give away that free kill.
Straight
Once
sick,
he realized
though.
he had the opportunity, he pushed it out.
It actually is only going to come down to Shele, I was going to say, but Shele did not make that happen, and that is going to be #1 for TOX. They get that first cap on the board. You know,
one thing that's interesting too is a lot of times after you get that cap, you're going to want to like push up on the side streets, get up top control again. First thing APG did is he goes down his A stairs and starts looking under the base. He's like, all right, where are these guys roaming around? Someone's got to be crawling around here because all these now members are doing such a good job of flanking around, getting and infiltrating the base, and APG wants to shut them down as fast as he can.
The TOX flag has been recovered. They can breathe a sigh of relief for the time being. Let's go into a listen-in. Hot off with a double kill from Snakebite and see how they're going to get this second flag cap here, or will Denial stop him in his tracks?
Sammy, I need a B-box. And their B-box. Shele's one shot the B-box. Sammy, there's their B-box, one shot. Last guy in the window, last guy live. I can't. You gotta slay, guys. You wanna slay? Yeah. A-dump, straight to coming. One shot, A-maze, guys. Run to base, A. A square, Henri. A square. One shot. I got him. Nice name, bro. He's absolutely not, yeah. A-maze.
B-steps. Going in on you, Kevin. Kevin, they're fly. Kevin, keep playing early. DJ, watch spawn.
Looking tough.
They're gonna be there, A-box.
A-box. Looking low.
Back up.
I'm looking low. Weak, they're corner.
A-box. Shele,
A-dump.
B-box, one hit. Bottom A pushing me. DJ, back. Run if you can, bro.
One's their A-dump.
You guys are both large.
Bottom middle. He's pushing me.
I'm
turning our beat up.
Go base.
Yeah, 2 on me. B-mates.
Shele, we
Get a beat down there.
Alright.
We're all gonna be at the same time. Pulling it.
Window.
Alright, A-box right now.
Alright, Brad. A-box on me. I feel a little.
Weak A stairs going.
We gotta kill the guys.
Going under you. To front.
He's going
Front B. Watch jump up.
There's one hit.
There.
Aries dead.
Nice shot.
Looking.
Yeah, we can slay out. Hey, top mid A. Two top mid A.
Bottom B.
Careful the guy bottom B.
Bottom B, guys.
Things are B square.
He's weak.
I'm pushing in. They're A street. They know I'm here. Can't get him.
I can't see. Comley's one shot.
Bottom A. Hit me dead.
Alright, I got naded there. Their B box. Two are front, and their B box. Last two. Alright, up and bottom behind you, Brad. Either B street, top B. Maybe. Top B. Last guy. Aries. Last two. Aries is weak there. B street, top B.
Aries dead. Their B box normally.
I need.
One hit their flank. One hit B side flank. One hit base and A side.
Yeah. Last guy, Shele.
One hit A underground.
Corner. A box. DJ.
Absolutely dead. Nice, Brad.
Look at me. Yeah, Comley's one shot.
Nice. Let's go. Bully them.
Hey. I got shots. No, you're not. Top B box.
Nice, Brad. Keep shooting.
I got Defcan beat spawns. Yeah, beat up now.
Hey,
Our side. One's still there, beat up. I will look our beat up. I died. Yeah, Aries is our base, guys. Nice. Aries weak is for our base. I don't see him. Yeah, he backed up. He's there. A square. Yes.
Last guy's bottom B.
Okay, we're running. I'm
They're straight six.
Call spawn. I don't see him. Our side. Hey, A street.
I'm dead. Yeah, slay. They're flag. Straight six, they're from base. Kevin, you can hit him.
He's under. One shot. Dead. Under the base.
Touch on this?
Okay. Last guy top B. Look at me. We top B. And then B street.
He fell down. Fucking shot.
Two B. I'm up in 4, Brad. I can help you.
They're beat up. Slay, Kevin. Slay.
I can help, Brad. They're flag. One to the base. Top B shooting, Brad.
3-1 score for TOX. They're so close to ending this series. In Denial, if you're Denial, you have to be frustrated because they've been so close, Dave, so close to being able to win this and being the Halo Classic champions.
Yeah, they were doing so well, but there seems to be some great reactions from the TOX side as far as the strategy, as far as the series goes along. You've noticed how fewer and fewer of these flanks have been working for Denial. There's been times where this flank from Shele normally would have gone unresponded to for a long time and you've done a bunch of damage. But instead, some of these players get picked off instantly before they can make the most use out of their flanks.
Comley's going to be the last player left alive here, top mid.
He's
lingering about now. He's going to have to go over and just continue to just focus them on that right side of the map so that his teammates can push effectively. Finally, commonly gets deleted in that scenario. Aries on his end. And, you know, I have to comment, Aries, like, he was such a focal point for me in the first series, whereas this one, I don't feel like he's really shined quite as much. And I don't want to say it's like he's not playing good because he's playing amazing, but I think it's like just those hero plays, right, that he's capable of making really just
Well, I mean, he was playing out of his mind earlier. Like, you talk about that that Heretic team player where I think he went, like, what, plus 12 or something like that. Helped his team win that team player game.
Yeah, yeah.
Along with, like, getting an overkill. Yeah, he got that overkill on Onslaught before. Was that it?
Overkill, yeah. Yep.
So it's just like, yeah, that's a level that you hope for every once in a while, but it's not a consistent level.
Oh, very true.
Nobody hits that sort of consistent level, and so it's like comparing that to his ridiculous plays before, because he's still doing a great job. Look at that, picking up that slaying APG. He has the flank. He's dealing damage, a little bit of damage to Eco.
I know it's unrealistic of me to want him to just overkill. You know, I totally understand that. I think it's just more or less how Denial overall in this series, and considering that Guardian ball game and how it really just deflated them quite a bit. I'm glad they were able to answer back and then tie that series up. But it's just been some moments that it's like been TOX and TOX through and through, just like right now. TOX have that flag down low, and they're looking to bring number 4 home, baby. Let's see if this is going to work out for him. Snakebite is bringing it a little wide. So smart, just avoiding those grenades, and that's going to give them the 4th flag cap. One more, and TOX are your Halo Classic champions.
Yeah, such a smart route from Snakebite.
So
just
good.
Realizing that his team did not have control of top B, and when you don't have control of those top ramps, those grenades are going to be flying straight towards the stairs. A lot of players don't have the luxury to afford to try to call the bluff and try to throw the frag grenade in the box.
This could be it. This could be it. APG, he's going to have the flag on the other side of the map, but APG, he's going to get killed in exchange there. Eco had to reload. Will not be able to help out Snakebite, who's lingering around.
Oh, too many players up there.
Yeah,
I think
too many.
Lethul's just going to have to try to stop any sort of counter cap here. No need to try desperate it and get a touch, because getting the touch on that is not going to be enough.
Yeah, that's not your priority, right? Staying alive is going to be your priority in that moment.
Yes, absolutely. These players need to know when they cut their losses, and that's exactly what Lethul did. He just said, all right, I'm going to stand here, wait for another team to spawn, and then we can hopefully get double team over at one of the top ramps over top ramp.
2 down for Denial. Eco and TOX on the move. Aries right in front of Eco, and he knows he's going to challenge, so Comley was waiting for him. Aries, though, back to the respawn. Shele as well. Got a lot of members down now for Denial. Straight sick right in front, but he's going to get hit with a nade and then immediately shot in the face. Eco's going to bring this flag to that 50-yard line, but Eco is going to go down.
Great grenade, and Shele getting a clutch kill on Snakebite, but Shele's down. That's 3 down.
This
APG
could be it.
Trying to move this one across. Straight Stick trying to be the hero here for Denial and keep their tournament life alive. Gets another kill on Lethul and gets to stop, but he can't make his way to the flag recovery.
He can't move, Dave. He was not able to get to that flag. Aries is going to be there to return it, though. And the flag has been recovered, and Denial can breathe a sigh of relief right now. Maybe Eco's going to turn this one into a cap, though. They're going to move that flag over to the A side.
I like this. One thing that Denial's always been on top of is running the flag in the correct routes. So one thing that Aries did right there,
number 2,
compared to TOX, is Aries didn't run that just straight down the center over like that mauler area. Instead, he ran it to the A side where he knew his team had full control and he was not going to get hit by any sort of random grenades, or was not as likely to get hit by grenades from the B side.
As we saw there, 3 down for TOX. Eco going to be alive up here, and Eco gets blown up by Straight Sick. Commonly, though, cannot stay alive by the dumpsters. And then it's over to Straight Sick once again. Big plays from him, even though he could not get to that flag return. Just him being able to stop the flag carrier in that moment kept him going in this game. Nice play from Shele. Not pushing out willy-nilly. Oh. He was good that he had avoided the player that was flying down, but you know, you're kind of in a stalemate there, and it's whoever goes for that first, whoever gets that angle.
I don't blame Shele for challenging that when it was a one-shot
They're
versus
both
one-shot, because when you get to determine when the challenge happens, you're at a slight advantage. So it's not like he was taking a 50-50 fight. I mean, if he had to throw on random numbers to it, it's more like taking like a 60-40 or 65-35 fight. Or if you're looking at our stats earlier, like a 65-55 fight.
65 to Well played, my friend. Well played. Oh, darn tootin'. So, killing spree now. Eco on your screen. He's got the flag. He's going to go over to PJ on the right side and dump the flag in the middle of the base. And that was actually a great play. He sends the flag out. That's going to force a player to have to respond to that flag, and then they can go right back at it again. Killing sprees all over the place for these players.
Yeah, the reason that you're seeing Snakebite toss out the flag rather than run it is because they don't have enough map control, and this kind of creates a dual threat to the players at Denial. They not only have to go in to bomb Saren and recover that flag, they still have to deal with the threat Snakebite at their base. However, now that Commonly is no longer a threat over at the A corner, Snakebite's going to continue running this over towards Dumpster.
He's not able to stay alive, and the flag is going to be down. APG's going to go back, grab the flag. He's taking shots from behind. It's going to be right there. And TOX are your Halo Classic champions. What a series that was. But big moments from TOX. They win it.